Alrighty, what is going on, everybody? This is your boy Tig back again with another episode of Project Open Mic. Hope y'all are doing well. Um, and again, prayers go out to a lot of people out there. So tonight, I hopefully everything is going well. I have a special guest with me because again, we're gonna be talking about, of course, the fires in LA still. And I only bring that up because there's just so much stuff that needs to be talked about. Of course, hopefully, my you are you there, Anderson?
Hello, everybody. How we doing tonight?
Okay, all right. So give me 1 second. But we're gonna. I do have Anderson here is a special guest and also a friend of the show, and he's gonna be talking about. He lives in LA, so I would love to have a life perspective of somebody who's there and what's going on in the LA area. So give me 1 second while I get everything straight, but we'll go straight to him. And of course, I have questions to ask him, so he'll answer live. If you guys, again, you guys know if you want to check it out, we on Facebook, we're on Tempo FM, we on Nico Nico, we on YouTube, we on Spotify. If you see what you see on the screen, the Project Over Mike label right there, you know in the right spot. Remember, check us out. So if you are in the channel, you have questions for Anderson, of course, I will gladly purvey to him, and maybe he'll give you his perspective on certain things. Okay, so let me get the chat straightened up, and I think you guys should be ready to go.
And if I may say, if you hear helicopters and sirens in the background, they're not related to the fire. Just your typical LA business.
Got you, got you. So let me put my lovely mug on the screen right here. And again, you guys, like I said, I'll be talking to him, but you guys, he'll pass some of the stuff on to y'all. So let me just, like I said, let me double check to see if we have chat and everything first, and then we'll get into tonight's show. Okay. All right, that's up and going. That's up and going, and okay. So yeah, any questions and stuff like that? We're ready to go. All right, the chat is up. All right. So at this present moment, and so what's going on that you could see being around that you're around this LA situation? I mean, I know that you're not very you could see. Okay, you're not very close to the fires, or no fires have been started around you.
Nope.
Okay.
Where I'm at, the Hollywood sign is barely visible. Has like a little white blob on the horizon.
Okay.
But that's about it. I'm not anywhere near the fires. Can't really
Okay.
smell the smoke anymore either.
Oh, but you could have spit that smoke a while ago.
Yeah, when it was starting, the smell of smoke was everywhere. Now, granted, I thought that was just, my neighborhood being what it is. But then I remembered, oh, yeah, there is a wildfire going on. But I never thought it would get this bad. And as far as I know, it's still going on.
It is most of the palace. I think that fire is still not 100% contained. And oh yeah, so people need to understand this too. Being contained means that they got the whole fire around it. Doesn't mean that the fire is put out. It just means that the fire cannot go any place else to get burned. It could still be fire going on at that present time.
Yep. It's like containing a wild animal. Like,
Yes,
you might have it surrounded, but it can still get out if you're not careful.
correct. And then, do you get do you feel the Santa Ana winds where you at?
Yes.
Okay. It's just like it doesn't. You just don't. It just don't go towards your situation, your area.
Well, they do reach my area. Makes everything very cold at night, but it's not as strong as where the fires are occurring towards the mountain.
Okay. Okay. Now I know when we talked before, you did said that this California the air, we know the air is bad, but the air is particularly more worse now with these fires.
Oh yes, especially if you're closer to where the fires are happening. There was a
Oh,
fire in 2005, and people were near that area that was burning
mhm,
got something called valley fever. Essentially, all that smoke inhalation, along with all those chemicals, mold, and what have you,
mhm.
once they enter the body, they cause a whole bunch of problems, mainly heart and kidney failure.
Oh wow.
And I'm pretty
Okay.
sure we're going to see that again, but even worse now.
Okay. Okay. Even worse now. All right. So basically, some of the people in the chat, some of the questions I've seen is basically I'm asking you that too. So far he's answering the question, guys. But again, if you need to put some more, go ahead. We got about 2,959 people in right in the chat. I know you're watching right now live. I know he's gonna pick up more. He always does. So, and again, yes, I'm trying to keep it, keep the show as best as I can. Along, I'll hopefully you guys will know when I can do a show on a Thursday, whatever. I will set up more stuff, which is my fault. Life has gotten to me to where you guys can interact and know, hey, there's not gonna be a show tonight or whatever, because I needed consistency. But I understand that. Anyway, let me see.
We'll try to be short and concise.
Yeah, but it's good. Um, have you have any information from have they spread any information from the local government or anything in that area? That's a person, Jesse from New York is asking. I mean, I don't.
Yep.
You don't listen to the local news, or did you look, or do you listen to the local news now that there's something that might be close to you? Because I know you don't really naturally, but now that something that's big now is coming and it's very dangerous as it is. Have you heard anything to the news wise or the local wires that stands out?
Well, I'm mainly getting my news from, alternative sources like X, YouTube. But my parents, particularly my mother, have been panicking about this, so she does watch it on the local news and information about it, where the fires are spreading, where they're happening, where the winds are blowing.
Okay, and
I'll
you
even
have
I'll say
go ahead.
that, oddly
Go ahead.
enough, we had that false alarm to tell people to pack up and evacuate. But for
Oh
some
yeah,
reason, I didn't get it. I did not get that on my phone, but everybody else around me did. Don't know why that is. Could be my VPN or something.
got you. Okay, so you because yeah, because that was a mistake. It was the whole LA area, but I know it is. So I know the whole LA area was that. So how
Yep.
do
Talk about adding fuel to the panic fire.
exactly, totally get that. Any let me see here. Give me a second. I'm trying to read some more stuff. All right. That one we already understand that. And as anybody that you know has been affected by these fires, like lost a house or something, or had to move because of that, like a friend or a person that you know, that's a question from Casey from Florida.
Well, unfortunately, I don't got much of a social circle here in LA. I did check on those that I do know, but most have mostly been unaffected by the flames. Although I do have a friend who lungs were ravaged by COVID, full of spikes and all that.
Hmm.
And she works in Universal, which surprisingly was still operating even during these fires. But
Oh,
she
okay.
wisely decided not to go into work so that she doesn't risk it, you know.
No, I understand. Okay, okay. But nobody that like their house is on, you know, on fire or they lost their house or anything like that.
No, sound good.
Okay, okay. All right. Let me see any more questions coming up here on that. We already answered that question already. We already answered that question already. As a Los Angelino, another question here from Rob from basically London. He asks, "Is it true that there was a way that they could have stopped these fires?" From your point of view, I got to answer, but I want to know you're living right beside it. I'm not. So what's your thoughts? Because I think that he's just thinking that is it. The question basically is, I've heard a lot of stuff that these fires was crazy. Could it really been prevented, or it was just ready to go?
Oh, there's always countermeasures that can be taken, not just here, but anywhere. But as you'll find out tonight, basically none of those countermeasures were taken or prepped and ready.
Okay.
If it wasn't for incompetence, we might have not seen as much devastation as we're seeing right now. And I would hope people will learn from this, but I doubt it. You know, not just the people being affected right now, people living in LA, but also people living anywhere.
Got you. Got you. Cause yeah, because I remember a while back when I was talking to you, you were like, man, it is rain. It is literally raining, and people people could skate. Well, not skate. What was it? Surf, like
Jet
surf,
ski.
jet ski. Yeah, jet ski down because there was so much water raining. But of course, California never stored that water.
Nope. Well, there's one reservoir that's been bone dry since 2009. Like, man, when I was in high school. And even though we, the people, voted on something essential for once, you know, let's get more water, more reservoirs, the powers that be that run California, well, they just didn't do that. And they took all that money and put it in their pockets via a bunch of useless pet projects that have nothing to do with what we need right now. Like, I says, I think last year was it we had so much rain that we actually had mudslides, pretty devastating
Oh
mudslides.
yeah. Oh
And depending
yeah. Go
and
ahead.
depending on some areas where you were at, the water might have gone all the way up to your knees. Although I heard somebody say that where they were, it got all the way up to their waist. And when I heard that, I was like, well, yeah. Speaking of waste, all this water is going to go to waste. Record land rainfall and no place to put it. And when we need it the most, we're not going to have it, and we're really going to be sorry for it.
Okay. Okay. So let me see. So you said that reservoir was not filled up from since 2009.
Well, one of them.
Yeah, yeah,
We got
yes, you're
more than
correct.
one.
Yes.
Yeah, we got more than one, but basically none of them have been filled or maintained. Hell, Newsom said that Well, this particular reservoir, we were doing some construction work on it, but then because you had people who actually checked for themselves, and there's no sign of any construction equipment, and we had the use of Google Maps going back years. There hasn't been any construction work done since about a decade and a half. So they were pretty much just doing nothing.
Okay. All right. I get that. I see that. Okay. So that's another thing they didn't have, and it's kind of sad too because they had so many water, like you said, a lot of rain happening, but they weren't storing it. Now, another thing that a lot of people don't understand that from since 1970s when Jerry Brown was the governor before Gavin Newsom, but he was a governor before. They told Jerry Brown that because a lot of people are coming to California at that time, with people moving out of California, that was legal. But I digress. But a lot of people was coming out of all of that situation, and they told him to build more reservoirs because you're gonna need more water. And of course, he didn't do it back then. He became the governor for another time in between I think 2010 to 2016. Or 2018. He didn't do it then either. And we know Gavin Newsom didn't do it, even though
Yep,
all of them
and not
said,
the governor either.
"Yep, Colin did not do it." But even though they told them that this is going to be a problem in the future, and we're going to need water because again, California does have a lot of droughts as well too, where people, you have water reservoirs and everything. Of course, they came up with a smart idea, which I've played on my show multiple times, where, as you know, because you cracked the joke, where if you take a shower and wash your clothes or flush the toilet or whatever, they're gonna hit you with a crazy penalty of $55 and stuff like that.
Yep, they've hit my family with those a lot of times. We're a family of six, and all these people they want coming over to vote for them, illegals. They usually don't just come in by themselves. Those that actually are family and not just posing together just to get across the border. That's the government for you. It doesn't really plan for the future. But then again, neither do people really.
Okay, I yes, and I understand that. So I'm trying to find I don't know why he keeps on doing that for me. I'm trying to find a specific spot on on the top because I do have a clip of something, but I'll let something else slide for a second. I didn't find a clip. I wanted to play a clip of one of your congressmen in California talking about this, and I'll have to play through the mic because I don't have it on the situation. But before that, I do want to play. You know this. I know you see you can't hear it, so I want to play a clip for the folks of what's going on with Gavin Newsom, as he said. It's weird how he smiles while he's talking about this. Like, I don't get that. I really don't get that situation.
Well, that's probably because you're not a sociopath like Newsom. Expert psychologists will tell you that he shows all the traits and signs.
Got you. I understand. So let me put this on. Let me try to put this on the screen here for you guys to see. Um, Let me bring it to that so y'all can see what I'm seeing. And like I said, I know it's gonna be. I'll think I'll have the closed caption. I think I have the closed caption on so you could. I know you can't hear the sound, but at least you could see it. Maybe you could read it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Okay, so let me put it up on the screen here so people can see. All right, and this is basically, like I said, it's uniquely weird to me how this guy does this.
Fires continue to rage all throughout Los Angeles. California Governor Gavin Newsom appears to dance while talking about land grabs.
I was just talking to Josh Green, the governor of down in Hawaii, who had some ideas around some land use concerns he has around speculators coming in, buying up properties, and the like. So we're already working with our legal teams to move those things forward. And
now,
Okay, that part right there, it kind of it's not surprising, but the reason I call this, remember, Hawaii had fires. So it's kind of weird, yes, they're Democrats. So they'll be like, okay, but the way he said, I'm talking to the governor of Hawaii, and he's just dancing and smiling, like, that's weird. While people's houses behind you are burned down. And the way he said that they're coming into and buying up stuff, I don't like that, you know?
Yeah, it causes one to raise their eyebrow and put some tinfoil on their head.
Yeah, because it ain't poor people coming to buy these houses. It ain't the middle, and also it's not the middle class coming to buy these houses. These are some rich land grab donors. And now, again, it always puzzles me where people are like, oh, rich people with Republicans. Like, the Democrats have way more rich people than the Republicans ever have, but people don't understand that. They just never get that. Because, again, even though Mark Zuckerberg is trying to tune his tune, but he donated to the Democrats. Jeff Bezos did that. He's up there. He's like the third, fourth richest man. Bill Gates, same thing. It's like, where y'all come? Mark Cuban, he's a billionaire. He donated too. A lot of these musicians, Beyonce and all this stuff, they're billionaires. You didn't think Jay-Z? You think they did not donate as well too?
Well, of course they did, but people don't really follow the money.
True that. But like I say, in terms of, but yeah, it's kind of disgusting though. But let me play a little more.
it seems incredibly insensitive, but it might be just because he's a weird guy when you actually pay attention. So we could sit back and make fun of his mannerisms all day, but that distracts from the fact that our governor actually looks giddy when talking about what happened in Maui might be happening here too. As it's easy to forget, but the wildfires in Lahaina happened just over a year ago, and still to today, much of the land is still rubble. So we gotta talk about what's in store for Los Angeles residents, how I basically believe nothing Newsom says about fixing the issues, and how this catastrophic failure that we the taxpayers essentially funded, which is a very important point we gotta get to, but how it's so convenient for these politicians and their finances that I actually refuse to believe this wasn't by design. So let's quickly recap why I don't believe a word of Newsom's doublespeak.
Listen, you...
And that's for sure. Nobody should believe anything that guy is.
If I could just say, I think he wants to break out in a little prospector dance. You know, hee-haw! Gold! We got gold here. Eventually, that's what he plans to do here in Maui.
The Maui governor and him, yeah. Because again, the Maui fire happened a year ago. People still are hurting from then. And it's going to be a while I don't know. It's just weird. But it's going to what you're going to say right now, but on the reservoir. So let me play that for the people to hear that part.
A word of Newsom's doublespeak. As first he said the water reservoirs were full.
The reservoirs are completely full. The state reservoirs here in Southern California, that mis and disinformation, I don't think advantages or aids any of us.
And when he was called out for them clearly being empty.
Yep. We do know, though, from reporting here locally that one reservoir that serves the Palisades was not full.
And that's exactly what triggered my desire to get the investigation to understand what was happening.
The reservoirs being full.
This man is so full of crap. Ain't even joke. But again, Californians. Now, not you. I know you did not, sir. So I give you the credit, the benefit of that and credit. You didn't do this, but a lot of people voted for this slimy little piece ball. And then when y'all had a chance to recall him, you didn't use that. You did not do that.
No, because the other candidate was apparently the black face of, what was it? White supremacy.
Exactly. Which is weird that that's how they say that. The black man is the white supremacist, but you'll vote for the white man. A lot of people's logic puzzles me. Really, they do. Like, mostly leftists puzzle me the most because I don't understand that logic. Again, like you just said, the black man is a white supremacist. Okay. But you vote for white man.
Here's the thing, is that leftism, feel like the thing is like the other side of politics, right, center and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But from my experience, it's actually akin to some sort of religiosity, some kind of cult mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Really. So if you're not playing on the same page as them, it doesn't really matter what you are, you're the enemy. That's why you got a lot of people who are moderate, or yes, in the middle, or yes, didn't care, going towards quote unquote the right, because these people are extremists, and if you're not fully committed, then they'll do all sorts of horrible things to you in retaliation.
I agree with that. And also now it's like because the leftist has pulled the center so far that when you see it going back right, which is basically center, people angry. No, they pull that center line too far to the left now. It's gone too far this way. So when you just say let's go back this way now, they're like, oh no, you going back to normalcy? Like, let's be honest. Like I said, one of the bills they just passed in Congress this week, which was good, is to get women out of get trans women out of
the military.
Sports. No, not military, sports. Women's spaces is set up. I gotta look into it more, but sports mostly for sure. And of course, here's the thing that puzzled me as usual, and the bills passed, but they were arguing the point, and I was like, let me get again another thing. I don't understand this. People gotta make me understand this because it puzzles my mind. Women are arguing that women. Okay, let me put it this way. They argue for women. Women is this. Women, we need equal opportunity. Women could do this. Women could do that. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. But then you have no problem letting men who pretends to be a woman in these spaces, including in the locker room and the bathroom, which I totally disagree with. But you're arguing.
When I first heard that was happening, I knew it was just going to get messy in that way. And sure enough, it did. But now those men are being protected because they claim to be a woman. But the woman that they, hurt, putting that in quotation marks, they don't get really much sympathy or anything. You're literally putting women in the line of danger just to push this agenda. Even though you're all about, well, we care about women, we want them to be on equal footing. At the same time, saying there's no such thing as gender, so there'd be no such thing as men or women. So what exactly are they aiming for? Besides absolute chaos.
You're correct.
Go ahead.
No, you're correct. And it just makes no sense in that regard. So it puzzles me. It really does. But let me go ahead more with the video.
And you investigating why they won't is a paradox, and how he says it with a straight face actually makes sense when you realize the randomly moving of his arms is probably his tell when he's lying. so he should just stick to tweets, even though his lie about not cutting the firefighters' budget is thoroughly documented on how he cut their budget by the tens of millions of dollars. But we deep dive on that in the last video about social media censorship.
I ask you, we've got to deal with this misinformation. There are hurricane force winds of mis and disinformation lies, and it breaks my heart as people are suffering and struggling that we're up against those hurricane forces as well.
It's so insanely disgusting for him to compare the winds spreading wildfires into people's homes to how he's suffering the consequences of his own lies. But that's not even the worst part, as one day he's saying he won't politicize a natural disaster, and the very next day he's posting his California Fire Facts page that actually links to.
Okay, I'm gonna bring it back a little bit. Listen to this carefully, guys. This is how crazy they don't politicize it, but listen to where the money goes. Always follow the money. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Anderson?
Yeah, that's what I've been saying for a while now.
Yes. Watch where the money goes. Listen to it. Don't politicize it, but listen to where the money goes.
Day he's posting his California Fire Facts page that actually links to his own Gavin Newsom website, which has a huge button to donate to the Fire Foundation, but is actually a link to the Act Blue website that allows the Democrats to skim a portion of their money. And that's just the 20-second recap of an 11-minute video where we go in on.
That's crazy. So instead of helping people, you're giving money to people. I can tell this from my point of view. When disasters happen, really understand who you're giving the money to. I ain't giving no money to no politician. I don't care if it's Trump or anybody else. I'm not giving no money to no damn politician. That part is disgraceful right there. You know what? But let's not let me see. Let's not take his word. I want to check to this. Let me see. What is called California Fire Facts page. All right, let's see if we can find it. California. I don't know if it's fires, but let's see. Fire Facts.
While you do that, I should mention that people should be very careful if they do want to donate to victims of the LA fires. Be careful that you're not getting scammed and giving your money to fraudulent charity.
Exactly. No, that's what. Yeah, that's true. You're correct on that too.
That's part of the reason why we don't have money for this disaster, because a lot of that money the city got went towards these fraudulent homeless charities that did nothing.
Which never got spent on the homeless. It was basically pocketed by the special interests.
Yep.
Okay, so here we go. California Fact Fires. Let's see if he's correct. Well, damn it. Ain't he correct? I just clicked the donate page. Campaign for Democracy. Donate to California Wildfire Foundation. True. Yep, he is correct. Act Blue. You can't make this shit up. You can't.
Well, are people going to believe this actually happened 100 years from now, 200 years, assuming people still are around?
It's so uniquely.
We're living through it right now and it's hard to believe.
Yep. This is crazy. Well, there you go. Campaign for Democracy. Like, why? What I got to do with fire? Your donation will go directly towards support in firefighters and the communities they serve, including direct financial support impacting the residents.
I won't.
Okay. No, I know you know that, and I know that because I know what Act Blue does. That's the problem. I know what they do. They scam money off the top. So, yeah, like Addison said, yeah, be careful where you put your daggone. Don't, like I said, yeah. And here's the thing. I always say I won't agree with everybody 100%. Me and Anderson don't agree 100%, but we're good friends. But we don't agree 100%, but we understand where we're coming from each other. When I do these shows, I've told people before, if you don't believe me, you know, because I make sure, as you see right there, I bring my receipts. And what I just showed you right there is, if you don't believe me what I'm saying, check it out yourself. Find these things I'm showing you because, again, I believe my eyes. They ain't lying eyes. I believe my eyes when I see certain things.
which has a huge button to donate to the Fire Foundation, but is actually a link to the Act Blue website that allows the Democrats to skim a portion of their money. And that's just the 20-second recap of an 11-minute video where we go in on why I don't trust anything Newsom's saying about the recovery efforts, as it may sound good that he's willing to speak to Hawaii's Governor Green, as he also recently experienced similar fires in Lahaina. But I just think it's important to highlight, is he taking advice from someone who successfully served his citizens? Or is he taking advice from someone who utilized a crisis to advance their pre-existing political agenda?
And that is true because he did not serve his citizens.
Nope.
The governor of Hawaii did not.
Over there, it wasn't that they didn't have any water in the hydrants. The water was shut off for some reason, even if the fires were burning.
And I want to point this out. I want to point this out for people, again, just to be honest. Even if they had water in the fire hydrants, right? Excuse me, sorry about that. Even if they had fire in the water hydrants. Yes. That would have never, the water would have never stopped the fire. It wouldn't. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to bring up the clip of the, and I don't think I'll find it. I don't think I'll find the clip of the Tom McClintock of California talking about this, because it will be something I would like to, talk about. Yeah, I would like to, let him listen to it, because he did said he's part of the he is a part of the the forest community in California, and he has told Gavin Newsom as well too that this is the things that need to happen, and he never did. Of course, are we surprised by that? No, we're not. We're really not. So I don't think I can find it, but if I know I'll have to go back to it again, because I wanted to use it because it does make sense. Okay, I think I figured it out. I think I found it. So I'll play that. I'll play it because you never heard this, but he is, Do you know what district you're in?
Not exactly. I'm located in South Central Los Angeles.
You might be in friggin' what's the that black woman's, what her name is again?
Maxine Waters.
You might be Maxine Waters territory.
Oh yay!
God help you.
I think God helps those who help themselves. Because we're running the hard way.
It looked like 16. Yeah. Got you. I think I found it. But yeah, so I'm.
Without losing out on quality. In Raleigh. Visit Johnston on kind of that angle.
Okay, so let's just go ahead with this with decoy.
In Maui back in August of 2023, where land grabs were immediately attempted.
Investors and realtors calling the families who lost their home, offering to buy their land.
There is a massive opportunity for land grab from corporate entities that don't have nothing to do with the Lahaina community.
These people coming in and trying to buy up their land. It just happened.
And right off the bat, the governor vowed to protect the landowners. But what exactly happened to all those areas devastated by the wildfires? As a couple of weeks ago, it appears most of that land is still nothing.
As you can see, there isn't a lot of construction happening in this part of Lahaina yet. Most of the neighborhoods closest to the ocean are in what's called a Special Management Area, or SMA, which does add an extra layer of complexity to the permitting process.
Now, I do understand that building on an island with limited resources is difficult, but what happened to the billions of dollars of federal relief? What happened to the removal of all the government red tape? And why is some of that assistance suddenly drying up in March? Which is why it's important to see the similarities in Governor Green to Newsom.
I'm already thinking about ways for the state to acquire that land so that we can put it into workforce housing, to put it...
Oh, why do the state need to acquire the land? It belongs to people. You see, I don't trust government.
That's the question.
And what we're gonna require the land and do what, Governor?
Back into families, or to make it open spaces in perpetuity as a memorial to people who were lost.
So
are we gonna make open spaces for perpetuity? What? And people be like, "Oh, you sound cold-hearted, Tig." I'm like, no, I'm just like, if that's my property, you should not grab it and do whatever you want with it. If you don't have the right, including people who own the land outright, they should not be, that should not be if they paid off their house and everything, and that should not be allowed. Technically speaking, I should not pay no taxes for the rest of my life if I own that land. Since all you guys gave me was $700, government. And the messed up part about it is that they gave, look how messed up that is. They gave Hawaii $700. They gave North Carolina, Georgia, West Virginia, Tennessee $750 for their problem with the storms going with the hurricane they did last year, and they give Californians a one-time payment, which I couldn't believe Biden said that out of his mouth. He said, we're gonna give them a one-time payment to buy food. Like I said with Hawaii, and I said with North Carolina and everything. If everything is flip and burn, what the $700 gonna buy?
Nothing.
There's no grocery store nearby. You're not paying for the hotels. I mean, these people have to move to other places or whatever. And they're still in, like I said, in North Carolina, where I'm at right now is 20 degrees. So I know for sure in the mountains. Let me see, what is the temperature in the mountains of North? Because that's where Asheville is. Asheville is in the mountains. Because I know it's cold where I'm at right now.
Ooh, I've seen those poor people pitching tents in the snow.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. Saturday and Sunday, they're gonna get snow. 28 degrees. Oh, goody. 28 degrees they got. Good grief.
Some of those poor souls are not gonna make it.
Yeah. And again, that one was not a wildfire. That was just water. And here's the thing. That was a 1 in 100-year storm. That's what we call it when we do architecture. That's what we figure that we have a line called front line, and we have that. That was a 100-year storm because, like I said, was it 3 years ago? Me and my wife was in Asheville. We 2 years ago. We was literally in Asheville when another hurricane came through, and they didn't do that. It rained, but it did not create this problem because what happened was the hurricane that came through settled in more, like it stopped, and we were at spots where me and my wife was like, we drove down central Asheville, and we like what we saw with the water, how high the water was like, oh my God, are you kidding me? That much water? Like we literally remember the Wendy's. It was like, wait, the water was at the Wendy's Wolf? Wow. That's some crazy waters. Because my wife loves the Belmont, and the Belmont opened back up again. But downtown, I tell you, I know downtown is
flooded, gone.
Well, I don't think it's gone, but it's gonna take a while to build that back up. Including, looking like I said, the weather has been snow, like you just stated, and it is, and then there's more snow coming over the weekend.
If the state wants to protect the land from predators trying to take advantage of residents recovering from a fire, that's a great concept if they actually deliver. But it seems over a year later, the residents still haven't seen some of that money, and if Newsom can't even admit we didn't have water without crying to Biden to censor us, I have absolutely zero confidence he's going to be able to protect Los Angeles residents as soon as the news cycle switches and the cameras stop rolling. Now, there is some speculation about the locations of the wildfires and how it plays into the Smart LA 2028 campaign that coincidentally lines up with the Summer Olympics coming to Los Angeles.
Los Angeles will be host to the World Cup, and then the Super Bowl, and then the Olympics. With this rebuilding effort needing to take place, is LA going to be ready for all of those global events?
We're already organizing a Marshall Plan. We already have a team of looking and reimagining LA 2.0.
You just said you're organizing a Marshall Plan for the...
I hate politicians. LA 2.0? We're already imagining LA 2.0. Jesus. I feel for you guys over there, for real.
Rebuilding of California. What is that Marshall Plan?
For
Tell
this
us about
region,
this Marshall
we're just
Plan.
starting to lay out. I mean, we're still fighting these fires. So we're already talking to city leaders. We're already talking to civic leaders. We're already talking to business leaders and nonprofits. We're talking to labor leaders. We're starting to organize how we can put together a collection of individuals on philanthropy, recovery, how we can organize the region, how we can make sure that we are seeking federal assistance for the Olympics more broadly, but also federal assistance for the recovery efforts.
So aside from his Marshall Plan being more buzzword word salad and wacky flailing that makes him look like he's lying again, I think it's important to note how much he references federal funds.
Don't remind me. So my taxpayer money goes to that spot. And again, I'm still kind of messed up about it because, again, I know a lot of people in California is high, the money is expensive, or whatever. You spend, you give these people, the federal government, thousands and thousands. I gave the federal government last year close to $50,000 in income tax. And you telling me, again, I lose my house, God forbid, I have insurance and everything, but I lose my house, all I'm going to get from you sons of guns is $750?
If that.
That's an insult. That's an insult in my situation. I'm talking about in a natural big disaster. In a regular small thing, I get it. But something like that, because this is the biggest. This is gonna be the biggest, the most expensive wildfire in the world, and it's gonna be a messed up natural disaster in the world. And remember, one of the reasons they wanted to stop, they wanted to stop some of the underbrushing because of this stupid plant that they found. They said, "Oh, well, this is one plant, whatever," and I'm like, really? You didn't get the water because of a small fish. You stopped the plant because of this endangered plant. Here's the funny part: that plant got burned up. So what now? That plant is gone. It's ashes.
So probably the fish. This state, the people are all about, oh, we gotta save the environment. Think of the future. Well, you didn't think of the future. You didn't take care of your environment, and now that's gone. It's one of the worst environmental / ecological disasters in a while. Mm-hmm. Assuming, something else doesn't happen. Although they say it's going to rain on Sunday, so more mudslides.
Yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to point out. He's correct. Without the trees holding now the dirt because all the trees are burned up and the vegetation are burned up. Yeah, the next wave of problems going to hit California is the mudslides. Mudslide. You're absolutely correct, and that's going to suck.
Not to mention that all the debris, the ash, not just in the air, but once that gets mixed up with the water and the mud and washes down the mountain, it's going to affect people who weren't affected directly by the fires.
Correct.
And also, you know that chemical they use to put out the fires, the red one?
Yes.
Apparently, that's
The
actually quite
retardant.
toxic to people. Yeah. I'm not sure if it's the equivalent of Agent Orange
No,
or
it's not.
mustard gas.
No, it's not
Yeah.
either too. You know about that, but it is toxic too in most cases because it's trying to cut off oxygen, which of course we know we use oxygen to breathe as human beings. So,
Well, it's going to be a fun next
into a
year for me, man.
$45 billion deficit in just 2 years, with plenty of money to toss at homelessness and billions more needed for Biden's newcomers, but not enough to keep water in the fire hydrants. Though it's not like we didn't try, as back in 2014, we paid $2.7 billion for a water project that up to today still has not been completed. And although we don't know
Let
the
money
origins
go.
of the Pacific Palisades fire quite yet, we now know that guy trying to start a fire in Woodland Hills was homeless and illegal, which is the ultimate slap in the face to the Los Angeles taxpayer. Not only do you pay some of the highest taxes in the country, but your money didn't go to providing water and firefighters to protect your home. No, it was diverted to paying for the exact type of person that's setting fires in your neighborhood. And when your governor slithers to the surface to speak about it, he only seems interested in silencing his criticism, fundraising for the Democrats, and milking your suffering for more federal funds that he'll likely get a huge cut of, as he doesn't care about our well-being unless someone more important is noticing. As back in 2023, he went to China to meet with President Xi, immediately setting back foreign relations by decades.
oh my God.
But the very next month, when Xi came to San Francisco, California, the city that normally looks like the third world
Like this?
was immediately cleaned up and turned into a dystopian nightmare.
Folks say, oh, they're just cleaning up this place because all those fancy leaders are coming into town. That's true, because it's true.
Hey, you know what? Son of a gun. Hey, even though he's a slithery piece of, he is a.
You piece of loser.
At least at least he didn't lie there. I give you that, Gavin. It is true. You're right. And you got Lori Lightfoot on the back left shoulder. Well, oh yeah, I forgot. They recalled you and they booted your ass out. So you're not there no more, Lori. I mean, not Lori. Sorry. I forgot her name is. It's not Lori. Cause I said Lori something else. Lauren. But she's gone.
Yeah, turn.
Which is why I think Los Angeles residents are doomed, as even if your home wasn't directly impacted, displacement will. And even if billions of dollars pour in, I doubt they'll be spent as originally intended, as Newsom needs to prepare the city for the Olympics with the whole world watching, but that's gonna be at the SoFi Stadium, the Coliseum, and other places nowhere near the fires. The Olympic Village is gonna be at UCLA, and I'm absolutely certain he'll prioritize his important visitors over his own suffering citizens.
And that's what here occurred force winds of mis and disinformation that can divide a country.
And this isn't hurricane force.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now. I am sick and tired of that word right now, that because it's so stupid. And they don't even, people use it so willy-nilly now that it lost its meaning. Just like the N-word has lost most of its meaning now. Mis and disinformation. Now it's information. That's all it is. You lie. That's what it is. You lied.
Disinformation, it's actually what he's done every year he's been in power, and he's literally wiggling into getting away with it again. So if you appreciate my...
So, yeah. And I want to show this. I'm not. I had other videos show. I'm not going to show a lot of stuff, but I don't want to let Anderson hear one of the congressmen talk. And also, I want to do the truth about the fire. We're going to finish off with the truth behind the fire, more truth behind the fires, because again, so you understand what's going on. But look at this right here. It is apocalyptic style thinking. Look at this on the screen right here. This is and me and my wife, she loves Twister and stuff like that, and we watched Twister. We got a Twister 1 and 2 movies. I did gifted, but look at this at 5 a.m. 5 a.m. This is happening. You don't want to. Holy crap! Look at this.
Take a look at this fire tornado spotted above the Palisades fire this morning. This was captured by Air 7. Just a wild view there.
Look at the fire up in the clouds. Oh my God. That is crazy. That is crazy to see that fire tornado. Look at that stuff, man. Holy smoke. Look at it up in the clouds. Like, that's just horrible.
Either that's God's judgment upon us, Los Angelinos, or this is the ultimate result of human folly.
I'm guessing this is what we call it again. It's Sodom and Gomorrah.
Ever since.
Yeah, we're getting biblical here.
It is.
And not in a good way.
No, not in a good way. So let me see if I can play this, Anderson. I think you will hear it, and you tell. Like I said, this is. I'll give you your response. We'll play it. We'll get your response to what he's saying. Okay.
All right, shoot.
Okay, let me get it up there because I won't play it through my mic, so it's not gonna be through the thing.
Thought this was interesting. Julia Roberts, let's see, she was so freaking online that Roberts did ads for Kamala, who of course Kamala wouldn't even take a stand on whether theft under $1,000 should be a felony. Wouldn't even make a comment on that policy. She was so freaking weak, and that was your hero, Julia Roberts, and now the sort of people that have been trained that crime isn't a crime are stealing from you. So I don't even know what to say. Yeah.
And these people also is in California. They heard it. You do?
Yeah. Neener. Quack, quack.
Middle class people, working class people, really everybody but the elite has already been battered by crime and junkies and the awful results of progressive policies. And now that it's hit the Hollywood elite, they're like, oh, crime hurts. Crime makes me sad. Yeah, wow. Thanks for your perspective. So I don't know if it does us any good to bring up these stories or not. Does it convince anybody? I mean, we do it on a regular basis.
Okay. I'm hoping. Okay. I know I saw that they were talking to Tom McClintock. I was trying to see if it was gonna go through, guys. It is at 7:16. Apologize, people. Like I said, I am doing this. I'm
tired.
I'm not tired. It's just that I am. I'm doing this,
by the cuff.
17:45. So it is.
Maybe it's just good to be reminded. Maybe if you get reminded enough at some point. The original science.
Not these people.
Compared to nothing. It's injuring all the things. None as fast as you can do. Yeah, well, it's mission too. He under Humana. For we auctioned off all recorded his kindling for.
Okay, so I got it now. Sorry for the. As I said, I'm a one-man show here. So let me go ahead and play Tom McClintock, who is a part of the
California's wildfires. Tom McClintock joins us. Tom, how are you, sir?
I'm doing fine, thanks, guys.
Yeah, well, lay out the long and short of your piece in the Wall Street Journal.
Well, it's not altogether complicated. Throughout all recorded history, California lost about 4.5 million acres a year to catastrophic fire. This is nothing new. What is new is, beginning in the 1900s, we established land management agencies to do a little gardening. We auctioned off excess timber to logging companies that paid us to remove that excess before it could choke off the forest and burn. We leased public lands to cattle and sheep ranches to suppress brush growth through grazing. We cut fire breaks to contain fires. We used herbicides to keep brush away from residential areas. We put out fires before they could explode out of control. And fire losses in California declined from about 4.5 million acres a year to about 250,000 acres a year throughout all the 20th century. But the environmental laws that we passed have made the permitting for these practices endlessly time-consuming, ultimately cost-prohibitive, so we stopped doing them. And in 2020, fire losses were back up to, guess what, about 4.5 million acres a year. That's not a new normal. That is the old normal returning because the environmental laws changed policies that were working to keep fires at a minimum.
Tom, I know you, as we value the environment, quote unquote, clean air and water and the beautiful landscapes of California, et cetera. But who is this
far-left environmental cabal in California, and how much power do they wield?
Well, it's not just California. It's national laws as well. It's the National Environmental Policy Act, the Endangered Species Act, the Wilderness Act, and you have in California the California Environmental Qualities Act. These were all passed with the promise that they would improve the forest environment and public lands management. Well, I think after now living with these laws for 50 years, we're entitled to ask, how's the environment doing? And the answer is absolutely damning. Our forests are now carrying 4 times the timber density the land can support, and so we're losing to disease, pestilence, drought, and ultimately catastrophic wildfire. I mean, all of that excess timber and growth is going to come out one way or another. Either we're going to carry it out or nature's going to burn it out.
Well, a number of people have made this point. So Gavin Newsom is dropping a lot of the environmental restrictions with some sort of emergency, declaration, so people will it'll be easier to rebuild. And of course, the reaction for a lot of us to that is, so what's the logic there? If they can be done away with, these environmental restrictions for this emergency, why ever have them?
Well, exactly.
Okay, that's half of the. I'm gonna play the other half. What do you think so far? Again, he is a politician in your area. Your area. What do you think What do you think of so far? What's the conversation, Anderson?
I think I've actually heard some of this before. Essentially, just like with the smelt fish and the plants, we put all these environmental laws out into play that on paper are supposed to help the environment, but really they don't really do anything. If anything, they restrict people from being able to maintain the environment in a healthy way.
Okay.
What he said? What the guy saying? Yeah, there is actually a historical precedent for it. What is the road to hell paved with? Good intentions. Yeah, these sound like good intentions on paper, but now look at the hell that LA has become, literally burning hell.
Exactly. Okay. Okay, let me play the other half then.
Yeah.
Right.
Oops.
This is an admission by Newsom. I don't think he realizes it, but it's an admission by him that these laws not only have not worked, they've been counterproductive. And if this doesn't prompt a wholesale revision of them, I don't know what will.
Well, you're right. You're right. Obviously, it is an admission because it's saying this will make things a lot easier and faster to rebuild. Oh, really?
Yeah, and at the same time, these laws have hampered our ability to deliver water projects for the next generation, as well as to manage our lands to keep them healthy and fire resilient. I mean, look, this is the way nature gardens, and nature's a lousy gardener. If you don't believe that, just leave your own garden alone for a few years, and you tell me what it's going to look like. That's why we have these land management agencies to come in and do a little gardening. The environmental laws of the 1970s stopped them from doing that, and now nature's coming back to do gardening her way.
You mentioned the inability of California to build water storage over multiple generations now, in spite of the people passing billions of dollars in bonds. We've already talked about the state-imposed price controls on homeowners insurance and how that's utterly perverted the market. But I know in your piece in the Wall Street Journal, you also touched upon how Mayor Karen Bass in L.A., who's cutting tens of millions of dollars from the fire budget, seems to have unlimited money for bums, junkies, and illegal immigrants.
Well, again, it's a question of priorities, and this is where people say, well, we should recall Karen Bass, we should recall Gavin Newsom. Well, I'm all for that, but simply replacing one left-wing ideologue with another is not going to change these policies.
True.
This is a result of deliberate policies that have been placed into federal, state, and local laws over many decades now at the choice of voters, and they're the wrong policies because they're the wrong people.
I know your piece is all about the resources, the environment, all that sort of stuff with the fire, but you also have this angle of we got looting and crime going on right now in a state that has made crime legal for the past quite a few years and created a culture where, of course, people feel like they can go loot.
Yeah, again, nothing.
Okay, what do you think about that so far, Addison?
No lies detected. I live that. What essentially he's saying is we got all this unnecessary environmental red tape, which I guess we could call green tape, which gets in the way of doing what needs to be done. Oh yeah, funny thing, Karen Bass went to what was it, Ghana, Africa?
Yes. Yeah.
Guess what they do in certain parts of Africa? They do dry burns too.
Well, yeah. No, they. Well, the problem is not only that. You make a firewall. You back burn something so they don't have nothing to burn on. You make 100-foot back burn so the killing doesn't have like embers to go far away. Because again, like you just stated when I asked you the question earlier, you have the Santa Ana winds, so they're gonna blow crazily. So you need to make enough of a break so that it doesn't jump the brake line. Excuse me. But California has not been doing that for the last 20 years now.
Yeah, but now we're paying for it. It always takes a while, but you always got to pay your dues.
Yeah. So, and also another thing was they don't it's funny. They want you to do all these electric cars and all this stuff. And again, you guys have voted, not you personally, Addison, I know that, and most people, but you voted for these cars, electricity, and everything. You know that you need your infrastructure to be upgraded. You voted it. You give all these $1 billion of bonds. Where does that money go? Y'all have a high-speed rail. You already spent $150 billion, and it's barely any tracks.
Yeah, I'd be surprised if anything of that stupid thing gets built. I just think that he took the money and ran, or they laundered it somehow.
Yeah. So you want to have people have electric cars and all that stuff, and no gas stoves and anything, but you're not, and people voted the money to you, California politicians, majority of them, even if this politician is not a part of it, he's saying it, but you voted for it, but it's not being done.
Where's the returns? Where's what the people voted for?
Exactly. Let me see if he has anything else to add to it.
Strange about that, if you stop prosecuting crimes, you're going to get more crime. And
True.
That's exactly what the policymakers in California have done. This is what the sanctuary cities is all about. Sanctuary cities is specifically designed to shield criminal illegal aliens. Under federal law, when an illegal alien has committed a crime, has been sentenced for that crime and jailed for that crime, when they're about to be released, ICE is supposed to be notified so they can be deported out of this country. The sanctuary laws stop that from happening. So, I mean, these are, again, deliberate policies. If you voted for people like Karen Bass and Gavin Newsom, this is what you voted for. And if that surprises you, you weren't paying any attention. Maybe this has been a wake-up call that can't be ignored.
I'm hoping you're right about that. I was in San Francisco.
Oh, people are ignoring it.
The city's already
People
looking
I know.
cleaner.
Yeah.
People have had enough. Maybe that's going to happen for the LA area or the entire state.
Well,
let's expand. Go ahead, Tom.
I was going to say, we saw
Wishful
that
thinking.
in New York. It was crime-ridden and decaying. Rudy Giuliani took over and cleaned it all up. Policy matters, and the people that we
And look at
elect
New York now.
matter because they determine policy.
I'd rather not.
Tom McClintock is on the line. Tom, I was just going to say, let's extend the conversation to the nation at large.
I'll leave it at that. I just wanted something because this is the LA fires and everything. But yeah, I mean, it is true. Like, Giuliani got in there. People didn't like it. Oh, he's a bad person, whatever. But it was clean. Like I said again, I said it once before, I'll say it again. After September 11th, which was a horrible thing, couple of years, it was 2 years later, whatever. They had the blackouts, and people thought that the blackouts that happened from Canada that came out to New York, and people thought it was another terrorist attack. If it wasn't Giuliani in there, people, it'd have been a crazy night. It'd have been some rock. Like, if those blackouts happen now, oh, you better block your doors and barricade them. Go ahead.
Lock your doors, prop the couch against them, try to hide all your possessions. If you're a woman, don't wear skirts.
Yep.
Do whatever you can to survive.
You're right.
New Yorkers are just like Los Angelinos. They got their heads in the clouds. Yeah.
Got you.
They don't pay attention to this stuff until it happens to them, and by then it's too late. And then instead of just, trying to, learn why this happened, they also want to point a finger at somebody. Take no responsibility.
All right. For those people in the chat, ask the question. Yes. Anderson, is it LA? South? You say South Central?
Yep.
South Central part of LA. So, and if you want to go, because I know a lot of people joining now. So that we got 29,558 people watching, listening, and watching. So yeah, go back to the beginning part of the show where you can listen. You get some of those questions. Cause I see some of the questions you guys are asking, and we kind of answered that already. So. I'll put one
if
more.
I may.
Go ahead.
If I may, though, I know these fires are called the California fires. I think that's a bit misleading, because then you got the image of San Diego, San Francisco, Yellowstone, Sacramento, everything on fire. No, it's mainly localized towards the mountainous area of LA. And even then, it's not like Los Angeles itself is completely in flames. Like, I live adjacent to downtown LA. And it's not on fire. Granted, that could change, though. We do get a bunch of crazies setting these fires up.
I was just going to say that you do have people who are also arsonists that setting fires and doing stuff like this now.
Yeah. Although they say it's climate change.
Yeah. Well, we already know the answer to that one already.
Yep.
Like I said,
So what's left?
No, I believe in climate change. Climate never stays the same. So I know it's the change. So I'm not against the word climate change. I know, but I'm using it in the correct definition though. Because people forgot. Antarctica was not always an snowy place. It also was a jungle back years, thousands of years ago too. It always changes.
When all the lands were one, called Pangea.
Yep, things happen.
Yeah.
And then
climate changes. That's what it does.
Exactly. So I'm not against that. That's my point.
But these fires, it seems like even the initial fire were just some people playing with gas and matches, and they got out of hand, and then it caused a chain reaction where more people thought, "Hey, I want to get in on that."
Well, also in your state, I would say also in your state that y'all ban fireworks.
They're banned, and yet every night I hear them. Or see them. Same thing with guns.
Because it doesn't work.
Nope.
People need to understand that, but we digress. So, we're gonna do one more video. We're gonna call it a night here. There's other stuff I could have brought up, but since I had you on, and I wanted to give you Los Angelinos as you give your perspective on what's going on there. So. The last one will basically be the history of California just burnt, the history of it. And of course, a lot of people don't like...
history of insanity.
Yeah. A lot of people don't like the Orange Man, but he was correct. That's the problem. That's the absolute problem. Go ahead.
It could have been the guy who looks like Charlie Chaplin. And like, well, yeah, that's him, but he has a point. I can't deny it.
Well,
if I
it's
were to deny the point, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's just like when Gavin Newsom said, yeah, we're cleaning up because we have a lot of foreigners coming now. Yeah, he at least to tell the truth, I agree with him. I'm not going to deny it.
Yeah.
If somebody tell me the sky is blue, water's wet, and fire's hot, even if even the person was Hitler or Mussolini or whatever, I still will say, well, you know what? He is right. He is right.
Yeah, he's right. You can't change the fact.
Exactly. You're 100% correct, and that's what people need to understand. So, let's go into the truth of the fires, the California wildfires.
Recently, California has been experiencing another major wildfire, which may go down as the worst fire in American history.
Mm-hmm.
Once again, homes have been destroyed and lives lost. People around the nation keep wondering why California is always destroyed by such events, and finger-pointing always occurs. Given the great potential that the state has, why is there never an adequate response or preventive maintenance mechanism? California is a perfect example of a failed state. But why?
It is.
Let's find out. Why do the residents of California always suffer the worst with fires? What has the state and even local governments done to prevent and mitigate such disasters? Why do they always fail? Is there corruption at the top of state government that irresponsible? What other significant issues does California have and the Democrats failed to do? Hello, I'm Colin Heaton, former history professor, Army and Marine Corps veteran, and welcome to this episode of Forgotten History.
Oh, our car's value went up.
Maybe we should track all our cars' value on Carvana.
All of them?
All of them.
Excuse me.
We need more trackers.
I'll track the
Apologize for that one. But yeah.
California has become the poster child for everything that is wrong with socialism in America, from home.
Ain't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? Oh yeah, I forgot. You can't. Give me a second there, Addison. Let me put it on the screen. I forgot you can't see it because you can't hear it either. Just let me help you out there. Where do you? Okay, you can hear the audio. That's so weird.
I can listen to it via YouTube. If that'd be more convenient.
I got you. No, I'm trying to put it up so you could see. Let me see, so you could see it. At least you could at least see the all
right,
the tab, so you could at least read what's going on. Okay. So basically, the person was saying, California is the poster child. And I said,
of a failed state.
It is a failed state.
Child for everything that is wrong with socialism in America, from homelessness, crime, failed political decisions, ridiculous restrictions on business operations, freedoms, the Green New Deal fraud, electric car mandates, and no power stations to charge them, and providing sanctuary for criminal illegals and exorbitant taxes. Governor Gavin Newsom has squandered every state and federal tax dollar he has ever received. He refused to build large water retention reservoirs and capture and redirect the rainwater and snowfall that drains into the Pacific Ocean from Northern California. He destroyed 4 dams to allow salmon fishing and prevented construction of a retention facility with a dam due to a small 2-inch fish called a smelt, which...
That is so crazy. You destroy 4 dams. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's government messing stuff up.
That's the people giving power to people who shouldn't have that power, and then doing nothing about it when they abuse that power.
And like you said, and then when you use water in your family house and they get hit with penalties, like that's unfair.
Yeah, but then you got the rich people up there where the fires are happening. Before that, they could use their pools all they want.
Yeah, you're right. You're 100% correct on that, my friend.
Which could have been used as a water diversion method to handle the water storage, especially with regard to fighting fires. Newsom and his predecessors, pressured by green environmentalist groups, failed to implement controlled burns to remove volatile dry underbrush, which spreads fire rapidly. As of this recording, the fires fueled by the strong Santa Ana winds have destroyed more than 1,000 homes and businesses and taken 5 lives, but that number...
It's now 25 lives. So
it's going to rise.
Yeah.
Number may grow. Firefighters had to leave burning structures because there was no water pressure in the fire hydrants due to the failure of the local and state leadership to be prepared, despite billions of dollars being taken in by that state's government. They could have built pumping stations to draw water from the Pacific Ocean or firefighting, and even built desalination and purification sites to distill that water for human consumption, farming, and other uses.
They could have, but they don't.
But
it still take billions of dollars from y'all. I mean, look, the island I'm from, St. Thomas, they have a desalination plant. Island has that. And you telling me California don't want to do that same thing too? Man, miss me with that nonsense.
For human consumption, farming, and other uses. Los Angeles Fire Department Fire Chief Kristen M. Crowley was selected by former Mayor Eric Garcetti and took the oath of office on March 25, 2022, becoming the first female and LGBTQ fire chief in the LAFD, and that seems to have been another self-inflicted wound. Crowley has her own priorities, and she stated this as such. She wants to increase DEI, didn't earn it, hires, as opposed to focusing upon getting the best people to serve their communities. But she is not alone in her idiocy. Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, another Democratic failure, also faces intense criticism for cutting the fire department's budget by $17.6 million just a few months earlier in order to take care of the illegal aliens and the homeless, for which Gavin Newsom took billions in tax dollars for many years and promised to address that issue, but he failed miserably.
Yep.
Given the history of frequent destructive fires, this decision qualifies for high marks on the insanity meter. Remember, LA also reduced funding for their police department during the rabid defund the police movement by the Marxist left, and the recently ousted district attorney supported a long-running crime spree, letting violent criminals roam the streets. On December 12, 2022, Mayor Bass declared a state of emergency on homelessness, which had exploded under Newsom and is now home to more than a third of the nation's homeless population, despite Governor Gavin Newsom committing $24 billion to solve the crisis. But homelessness only exploded under his watch, and the money is gone. There was no accounting for where the money went after failed audits, but Newsom built it.
I got to be amazed. Excuse me on that one. I gotta be amazed. A lot of these homeless people can find all. I know it's not expensive, but again, California makes it expensive. They can find all these cigarettes to smoke.
All these needles to inject, or that hooch to drink.
Mm-hmm.
There was no accounting for where the money went after failed audits, but Newsom built a new $9 million home, and under Bass, the LA homeless situation has also grown exponentially. Since taking office in 2019, Newsom has overseen a state budget that has increased from $201.4 billion to $454.7 billion in 2023 with no visible benefit to the citizens.
Exactly.
Go figure. Bass's program, called Inside Safe, will, according to Bass herself, cost just under $100 million. It will use master leasing with hotels to place the homeless. She said her office has been in touch with motel owners near the encampments. California has some of the highest taxes in the nation, the greatest restrictions on personal freedoms, illegal alien sanctuary policies, and increased crime, which also exploded, and insane laws and mandates that violate logic.
At Mint Mobile,
invalid my logic is true.
The only way this makes sense is if you're a madman.
Hope that the liberal idiocy was finally seeing logic when the citizens of LA County voted out DA George Gascon.
I'm surprised y'all did that, but good that y'all voted that piece. That
You piece of loser.
he is a horrible person. Oh my goodness. Like most of y'all DAs are more horrible person. Now, hopefully this new DA who says tough on crime do a better job. Cause Gascon, who sounds like Kermit the Frog, he's a horrible person. People got mass murdered, chopped up by MS-13 gangs, and you let them back out. You got it on video. We could not prosecute our way out of this he said emergency or whatever. I forgot what he said. We cannot prosecute this stuff out of this problem. Yeah, out of this problem. I'm like, yes you can. If you do a crime, you put them in jail. How hard is that?
It's apparently so difficult to do here. That's why they just let them go.
And then they go back out.
Somebody could probably set off a nuke in this city and they'd probably get away with a slap on the wrist.
I know, right?
I think that's actually the plot of a movie that came out recently.
Excuse me.
Yeah, it actually did.
The so-called godfather of progressive prosecutors. Under him, crime exploded, with minimal charges being given for major crimes and violent people who were arrested being allowed.
Again, as you said, a lot of guns are banned in California, but this man had a gun. I never understood that. I really do not understand leftist thinking. You're not protecting nobody.
It's mostly, that's kind of thinking is mainly based in fantasy. Drug-induced fantasy maybe, but it's still fantasy. They don't live in reality.
You're correct.
Allowed back out on the street on no cash bail to commit more crimes. These insane policies were all implemented by elected Democrats and socialist bureaucrats who, for some reason, the people of the state keep re-electing. The current destruction is a massive self-inflicted wound that I do not think the liberals living there have even acknowledged. Those who have seen the damage have left or changed their political affiliation.
Yep.
The massive
Or like
exodus
me,
from
that's stuck
California
here.
by those who could afford to leave has had several after effects. The wealthiest income earners, meaning the highest taxpayers, have been fleeing, reducing state revenues, increasing the burden upon the working class citizens.
Yep.
This also goes for major corporations who have fled to other states, such as Florida, Texas, the Carolinas, etc., to escape and evade.
And like I said before, and I know it happened in Texas, and I know North Carolina mostly got back to be a red state, but it was a purple state. It could go back blue, anything. Keep your ish out of here. You left the state for a reason. Don't bring no stupid policies here. That's stupid. Because we know Apple's going to come over to North Carolina. Ugh. I hope. I can pray.
I'll pray for you. It's too late for me over here.
Ridiculous taxes and operating restrictions. Even Mark Zuckerberg moved his business to Texas. No new major businesses are moving into California, and for good reasons. The great increase in taxation and bad political decisions was the main catalyst for people leaving California, such as my friend, director, and producer, actor Kevin Sorbo, who called me to say he was packed up and leaving for good back in 2021 and moved his family to Florida. Another major loss of revenue for California has been the film industry, which severely crippled production due to high operating expenses. This was a major source of revenue.
Damn, you know, Hall of Fame looking horrible. Look at the Walk of Fame. You get like, oh man, I got my star on the wall. That looked horrible.
Oh, trust me, all the glitz and glamour has long left Hollywood.
Yeah, I mean your job, your former job, you were close, you was all around that stuff.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Revenue as well. Hollywood had been the center of the filmmaking world for almost a century until the liberal policies caught up with them. Even extreme liberal celebrities
Lockdowns.
who make their living in the film business have left the very cesspool they helped create because of economic realities.
Yep.
You would think that as true believers, they would embrace the social, financial, and economic upheaval they keep voting for.
No, because again, do you think not? Like I said before, France having that problem again. When Frankie Hollande was it when he's like, oh, we're gonna tax the rich 80%. Wait, you gonna tax me 80 cents on the dollar because I'm rich? Well, again, they're rich. So what did they do? They moved out. So when they moved out, you, who was in the middle class and poor, got raised up, and y'all got that tax. And then he changed it because, like, okay, people get angry. And you see right now, France dissolved their stuff now. France is gone that. Canada is doing the same thing right now. A lot of countries are starting to, feel that, wow, we're messing up. The only country I can see right now, other than America, that's even London, is doing stupid, England is doing stupid but it is Argentina. Which it worked. Look like they found the right person with their new president. Cut the government bloat.
Cut the fat.
Cut the fat.
But all of this ties into the state's failure to be prepared for the fires, which, given their history, defies logic. In Trump's first administration, he provided a template for preventing these disasters, but Newsom ignored the offer. In 2019, the Trump administration presented a new plan to pump more water from the Sacramento-San Joaquin Delta to supply local farms with irrigation. Some officials and environmentalists objected to the idea, saying that it would increase the chances that salmon, smelt, and steelhead would go extinct. That still did not address Trump's plan of creating pipelines to catch winter snow and rain runoff into prepared water reservoirs rather than flowing into the ocean, for which federal dollars were sent. Newsom and the Democrats...
See, that's the part that killed me. They got the money, but they waste the money.
They always do.
Democrats squandered the money and the opportunity. Recently stated on Truth Social, Trump stated that Governor Gavin Newsom refused to sign the Water Restoration Declaration put before him, and that would have allowed millions of gallons of water from excess rain and snowmelt from the north to flow daily into many parts of California, including the areas that are currently burning in a virtually apocalyptic way. Now the ultimate price is being paid. I will demand that this incompetent governor allow beautiful, clean, fresh water to flow into California. He is the blame for this. Trump delivered these comments during a press conference at his Ranchos Palos Verdes golf course, while 3 fires continued to burn more than 100,000 acres in Southern California. Trump also said if he doesn't sign those papers, we won't give him money to put out all his fires. And if we don't give him the money to put out his fires, he's got problems. He's a lousy governor. The liberal media and Democrat politicians struck back, some even blaming Trump for the event, which is beyond laughable and displays an intellectual bankruptcy that is truly tragic.
Yep.
In rebuttal, Izzy Garden, Newsom's communications director, told USA Today in a statement, "There is no such document as the Water Restoration Declaration. That is pure fiction." She must have forgotten Trump's offer in 2019. She continued, "The governor is focused on protecting people, not playing politics and making sure firefighters have all the resources they need."
As we just said that but you're going to Act Blue for the donations to help Newsom. Make no sense.
She said that. Really, then why do the firefighters not have any water? Even if Newsom were to be given more money, the consensus is that it would make no difference because he does not understand emergency management, fiscal responsibility, or prioritizing for the needs of the citizens.
He doesn't.
But people still voted for him and the other incompetent Democrats who are responsible. I hope they are satisfied with their election choices. Elon Musk also targeted California's state laws in a post on X, saying, "These fires are easily avoidable, but nonsense regulations in California prevent action being taken, so year after year homes burn down and more people die." During the 2024 campaign, Trump threatened to withhold federal aid to California for a variety of reasons, from being a sanctuary state for illegals to the mismanagement of the wildfires if Newsom didn't change that policy. He said at the time he would give the Golden State more water than almost anybody has, allowing farmers to have full use of their land. This would also solve the problem of maintaining water supplies for public use and for fighting fires. California is also the state of rolling blackouts due to an outdated, overloaded, and ineffective electrical grid.
Yep.
Money was supposed to be set aside to upgrade the grids, but where did the money go? As long as people keep electing incompetent career politicians and bureaucrats and promoting DEI above addressing the realistic problems that they all face despite all of their other issues, California will soon be abandoned by the very people who are in the best position to save it. But, perhaps California is already dead, not just on life support, and we have not been informed of the situation. What is a reality is that once all the wealthy, successful, non-progressive people, as well as fed-up Democrats leave the state, the only residents remaining will be the homeless, poor working class, incarcerated, or the extremely wealthy, living in their mansions within their gated and guarded communities who are financially and geographically removed from the disaster they helped create.
Yep.
Hey, like Mexico.
There you go. That's truly what's going to be happening soon. So yeah, people don't understand that, and that's the reason. So y'all hate Orange Man, whatever, but his ideas make sense. God forbid that people come up with smart ideas. And again, the part that kind of hurts me is that, they got the money from me and my taxpayer money. Y'all got the money and y'all waste it. Where does the money go? You get billions and billions of dollars and you waste it. So it's nothing new to me. It's just crazy. So again, I wanna I don't know.
All I can say is this is not just isolated to California and New York. This stupidity can spread. Do your due diligence and make sure it doesn't.
Exactly, you're correct. Go ahead.
And also keep tabs on whoever's in office. Doesn't matter who's in office, just keep tabs on them, make sure you know where the money's going, what the politicians are doing. A lot of this that's going on in California, just people don't pay attention.
Yes, you're 100% correct, my friend. So yeah, that's all we gotta say. That's all we gotta. I hope people understand that. So hey, with that said, again, that's an explanation of this. Next week is gonna be the inauguration.
Oh boy,
we're gonna get rid of Joe Biden, and I will say, don't let this good doorknob hit you with the Lord split you. Bye, adios, good riddance. He was the worst president in my lifetime. He should have never been president because he tried twice and he failed. He should have never been president, but people was crazy and they let that man run. And again, we know he didn't run. So I want to do a video talking about his incompetence, because his incompetence is in back. He was not running this country. We learn now when people who are not running the country run it, we see what we get. And I'm happy that a lot of people said, in the Pew Research, they said 6% of Americans think that Biden did a good job. Thank God, the 6%. I want to know who the heck are you? because y'all are mentally insane. But at least he's going down as the worst president. And for, sadly, when Jimmy Carter just passed away, a lot of people had Jimmy Carter at the bottom. Biden just took that role now.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yep. So, with that said, guys, thank y'all for giving me your time, your ear, your eyes on what we're talking about. This is your, like I said, remember, as I just stated, for which is the truth, take care of yourself. Then you can take care of your family, take care of your neighbor, and then that will basically make a good community. And that's what we need to be doing. And remember, evil comes in all shapes, size, color, creed, height, nationality, nation, anything. Evil's evil. I stand for good. And I want to thank you, Anderson, for joining me tonight on this again. And I do pray for the people out there who are hurting, who lost jobs, who lost loved ones, who lost business and everything. It's sad. Yeah, it's sad. I feel for you guys out there. But as he said in the end of the video we just played there, that's it, 72. You vote for your demise. It's just like we see with black people. Y'all vote for y'all demise. I'm sorry, but I'm telling y'all the truth. Y'all vote for y'all demise. So, but again, thank you, Anderson, for joining me and taking your time to help us. To help the people in the chat to understand the stuff in California. Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, and also again, we'll check you out next week. Remember, one more thing. People are stupid, individuals smart. Be that smart individual. This is your boy Tiggs saying good night for Party Open Night. Hope you guys are good enough. Be safe. Again, prayers are going out there. Make sure if you're donating to California people, as Anderson said, we just showed you, do not vote. Do not donate to any government like Gavin Newsom or Karen Bass, none of that stuff, because it's going to Democratic commas and not mostly to the people. So don't vote that. And give money to, make sure you follow where the money goes to donate. All right? Again, prayers go out to everybody. Be safe. We will catch you next week.
Good night.